Yeah, soldiers. So today I'm going to be discussing a Twitter thread that is objectively wrong about Manhwa. The exact title of the Twitter thread is "All Manhwa Are Naturally Bad," and I will be debunking each of the points that are presented in the thread. So we can get started, but first, shout out to you for ending this video. Shout out to all of you guys for watching it. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like the content, and I hope you guys enjoy a lot of content this week because it's gonna be plenty in terms of some other stuff. Well, actually, that's about it. Let's get right into the Twitter thread. All right. So first up, the exact title of the Twitter thread is "All Manhwa Are Naturally Bad." So a couple of things that this person tries to point out is that there's a generalization of medium, and according to this text here, it says, "But for manhwa/webtoon, it's impossible not to. The medium is painfully saturated with garbage copycats that bring nothing new to the table. Almost everything I've seen online falls into one of these categories: OPMC, weak to strong, isekai, villainous, needs for a porn, or an amalgamation of them all. There are literally thousands of reincarnated noblewomen falls in love with king/emperor, or weakling gets unearthly powers in its OP in a level system world stories. Not one of them I have read are original or good in any way. It's actually impressive how mama can fail so hard at being good." Oh boy, I'm gonna have a lot to say about that. I feel anime industry is starting to take on this route too. Everything looks and feels the same to an extent. There is limited abstraction or expensive art anymore, as the industries are hungry for a quick profit instead of creating a fine piece of artwork. It really says a lot when I don't even bother looking into these anymore. Okay, so first off, one of the images that they put into this entire thing is stories like Soul Leveling and Omniscient Reader. Let us be very clear about this for a second. The way that Originality, I'm going to be really real about this, is fucking bullshit. I'm serious, it's bullshit. It is bullshit. Originality does not matter. Why? Because so many ideas have been done to death. You're going to have stories in any case that are going to seem similar to another, or have similar themes to another story, because everything on this planet has been done before. Everything. You can't have any original ideas. Like original songs. This is the same thing with music, because guess what? A music tune or something like this, and this is some issue that I have with like music losses in general, but like someone's gonna sue someone for like music, or for example, and it's like, why? There's gonna be something that's going to sound slightly the same as the other, which is why you had the entire Yellow Card versus Juice WRLD controversy. But like, you can't have any form of originality with music because there are certain sounds that have been replicate or sound the same, but some people just put on a different twist, some people put on like a different way on doing it, and that's what can make something good. I could say that each of the songs like Hollywood Died and Lucid Dreams are good in their own right, even if they have like a similar melody at some point in the beginning or so, because it's music. It's good. It just sounds good. And with something like Manhwa, for example, you have around similar premises, but the way some of the characters are very different. Sun Jin Woo is a guy that tries to take care of his mom. He tries to take care of his sister. He's working and doing all this shit and trying to be the best. He's not even trying to work to be the best hunter. He just wants to improve to like survive and make sure that he brings back money for his sister and his mom, who was in a freaking coma, and then he eventually, spoiler alert, would revive her, by the way. And for Dokja Kim, he's just a guy that literally was a normal guy, just one of the most unnaturally normal guy, and literally was like, ah, shit, I'm in a world I'm familiar with. I'm in the web novel I've been reading for like how many years? My entire life. And the thing is that it makes some of these stories different is that Omniscient Reader focuses more on its sidecast, on the plot. Soul Leveling focuses on the hype, the fights, and everything in between. They have different ways of expressing their stories, but the way they execute them in their own right makes them good in their own way. And the same argument can be made with shonen as well, if we're making that same argument, because a lot of shonen manga has the similar themes. But guess what? There are certain things that make those shonen manga good. Even back in the older days, what made Dragon Ball, Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece different? Each of them had their own premises, each of them had their own execution, each of them had their own ways of writing a story, even if they had some similar themes like friendship and shit, because they executed those in various degrees in different ways. And even if there are certain tropes instead shown in manga, the characters, the story, the themes, and all the story that they're trying to tell are vastly different. Such as, again, Naruto wanting to become Hokage because he was doubted for so long, Ichigo wanting to protect the people that he cares about, and Luffy trying to be the freest man on the planet. It's like, I don't understand, like, where people have this mentality at all. And, like, oh, man, anime nowadays is a cash cow, and like, people are doing for a quick profit. No! It's that they're making... The anime is an even better position than it was even back then, because we have all these great stories. We can now watch, we can stream everything. We don't have to go on, like, these fucking forum sites. And in Manhwa, for example, we have also just as good stories. And another thing that I also want to point out here is that I can't even say anything else for, like, some of the other stories that are presented here, because I have not read them personally. But I'm pretty sure that each of these other stories that are presented on screen have their own ways of communicating different ideas and different stories as well. Honestly, again, this is just completely inaccurate. The next point that this person brings up is the art sucks, period. Okay, yeah, no, let's be very honest. This person's, like, using, like, lesser artwork from certain manhwa, and it's, like, saying, like, oh, well, another major issue I have is with manhwas, I hate the art. At least the modern version of the medium. Everything about it and the techniques it represent, I resent. It's bland, generic color, and lacks so many textures. And then, here's my response. Look at these freaking panels from Solo Leveling and tell me that this art is ass. Or Omniscient Reader. Just trying to use, like, out of context art does not really make anything, your point, valid. Like, are you serious right now? Like, I know art is more of a subjective thing, but come on, man. Come on. And again, the fact, if you're gonna tell something that all manhwa are naturally bad, you better be prepared. Even if you have, like, different preferences for the art, you might as well get prepared for me to say, yeah, no, you're objectively wrong. And then there is, of course, this final point, which is panel structure. What makes manga so unique is its art and presentation. No other comics are natively black and white and are read from right to left. Even with its extremely diverse stories and art styles, there is one thing I see always under the radar in valuing the comic's visual worth: panel structure. Paneling is an underappreciated quality that makes the series stand out so much, and I think it's important that more people know and appreciate its ability to easily convey and emphasize movement, action, thoughts, personas, sequence of time, etc. with ease. I mean, it's not necessarily wrong here. Paneling is something that's pretty important in any comic. Spreads and even basic pages with this kind of content simply do not flow with the same of the predominant vertical scrolling webcomic platforms, and it's honestly a massive eyesore and no point to even bother consuming. No. The modern manhwa format would much rather restrict themselves to extremely bland, such repetitive paneling that makes reading a pain, or even on a phone. Not that simplicity is a bad thing, plenty of manga are effective with basic paneling, but none of them even try to bother to experiment and challenge its given medium. That is a major issue I have. Instead of trying to make a better rendition of such a terrible format, it's just accepted, although along with its countless other issues. Okay, no. Let's just start with this. There are different ways that manhwa definitely panel themselves, or with structure. I could probably point out to a couple chapters from Omniscient Reader and Solo Leveling and kind of show the difference here. But there's also the fact that certain manga comics, they virtually do not really have this type of structure unless maybe you go into another comic book. But the way that manhwa are structured, such as with my Solo Leveling comic, by the way, I have a couple volumes of Solo Leveling. There are different ways in between the pages that are shown to be, you know, done differently with some of these panels. They're structured differently, they show a bit of a passage of time, and they do everything that you are looking for in a Solo Leveling piece. Now, if I, honestly, again, these are volumes that I have, not really reading off a phone, which I do for Omniscient Reader and Overgeared, but the way that Overgeared and Omniscient Reader also do their paneling is also vastly different from the other. I don't know if I can get away with showing that like I could with, like, artwork, because I can, like, zoom in, and I feel like the thing is that either you have not consumed enough manhwa to kind of understand the differences between some of the paneling structures, or you're just completely ignoring them. But again, this point just feels a little bit disingenuous to me, because there are different ways some of the panels are structured with Omniscient Reader and, of course, Overgeared. Even if you're reading off a phone, there are vastly different ways that the panels are made. And then, of course, TLDR, it fails in every aspect in my hierarchy, blah, blah, blah. Manhwa and webtoon are also used synonymously, Fred complete. And then finally, yes, the Fred is Slycon saying, I apologize. However, I find it quite ironic that many people believe it's perfectly fine to dislike a piece of media over its content, art style, length, etc. Yet employ to decide me hating a specific format. That's Manhwa Twitter for you. No, this is just you being a fucking condescending asshole that legitimately did not really have a point here, because you're, one, completely inaccurate when it comes to like art style and shit. And two, again, you literally titled your entire Twitter thread just for clicks. I hope you got that attention, my dude, because yeah, you're completely incorrect here, and I'm giving you this fucking attention, but I don't care. I just do not care. There's just like a bunch of inaccuracies when it comes to medium I love, and again, I'm a big fan of Manhwa. I love Manhwa like Overgeared, Omniscient Reader, and of course Soul Leveling. And I'm also a big fan of manga. I've read certain stories like Pandora Hearts and shit. My overall main point is that, again, it's just a lot of this just again comes across as just very condescending, which he does try to apologize for until the end, and then tries to talk about, oh man, I'm being like, you're like all being hypocrites and blah blah. Like, get out of here, man. Get out of here. Oh, man. Oh, man. It's just like a bit of a quick debunk. I, again, couldn't really show paneling as much as I could probably with like certain artwork because, but yeah, I hope you all enjoy this video. I did kind of go off on a bit of a rant here, but in slight debunk, more so than a debunk, but at the same time, again, this is just like completely inaccurate if you just like read Manhwa, but apparently this person just hasn't. It's just again like came across as someone who's like, probably only like read a couple chapters of like a Manhwa, like let's say Soul Leveling, and then quit, and then made this entire thread. That's basically what I think. But let me know what you guys think. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have some interesting opinions about this person, but don't harass this person. We're not like that. We're chill. And hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn notifications, share the video. But that should be about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this bit of a short debunk. Let me know if you have any other content you want me to go over. I am working on a bunch of stuff right now, so, and let's get to 63K. Shout out to our patrons. They're on screen, and my to our patrons, Tidwell and Nice Lasher. If you want more shout outs like these, go to my Patreon, which is in the description. I said it with a weird accent. I don't know why I did that. Anyways, in terms of some other stuff, stay tuned for a lot of content that's going to be coming very soon. I have a bunch of thumbnails ready, and I should be able to get you a lot of content out very, very, very soon. So, stay tuned for that. And send out peace. Hurrah. Bye-bye.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, life's tough. Try to get by, life's rough. Try to do it right, it's not enough. Even though you try, you still mess up. But I'm still gonna fight for what I love. Still gonna die for what I love. Still gonna try, I won't give up. Still gonna fight until I've won. They say I'm way too obsessed, and I've got nothing left, and I'm not quite